Hi everybody, in today's video we're going to be looking at how we can generate the Strut component from the Creo Primer. So first things first, we're going to start off by selecting the working directory. So I'm just going to select a location I would like to save my parts, click OK, and then we're going to start a new part. So we're going to go new part, and we're going to give this a name that's suitable. And remember to untick the default template. Click OK, and we'll select our units. Okay, so we've loaded up Creo and we're now ready to start making some of our geometry. So we're going to be using a combination of extrusion and revolve to make this part. And we're going to start with an extrusion to make the overall peg diameter. So we're going to click on the right plane. So you could do that over here or within the graphics window. And we're going to click sketch, or extrude, sorry. And we need to use the center circle tool. So if we click in the middle here, I'm going to do this in the 3D view rather than the 2D view. So click in the middle, we can drag out the cursor, press the middle mouse button, and we can change this diameter so that it's 8. Okay, that's gone really small on my screen, so let's refit that. And we'll drag this in so it's closer and refit it again. We can click OK there. And again, it's just extruding one side. So let's change this to symmetrical. And we need to change the length of this to 90. Okay, let's refit our screen. Oh, that's really small, so we'll zoom in a little bit. And we'll click OK. Control D to refit. Okay, so we've got the basic outline for our shape now. Now we're going to extrude the shoulder geometry. So I'm going to click on this right plane again and click extrude. Let's zoom in a little bit and use the circle center tool. Click in the middle here and drag this out. So the diameter for this part needs to be 12. And we can click OK. And again, we're going to change some of these parameters. So we'll change it to symmetrical at the top. And the length needs to be 70. So zoom out. So we can see, yeah, we end up with a small peg holes at the end. And then we have a larger diameter section here. Okay, so we now have the basic shape generated for our component. Let's press Ctrl D and let's save. Click OK. Now what we're going to do is use the Revolve tool to remove the material and get the center profile that's required. So we're going to revolve a sketched arc to thin the center out of this strut. So the first thing we're going to do is select the front datum and then click Revolve. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is just add a center line. So we know we're going to be revolving and we need to add a center line. So I'm going to add this using the center line tool and make sure that it goes straight through the middle of my component. Now to generate the geometry profile to thin out this component, we're going to use the arc tool. So if I click on arc and then center and ends, I'm going to click in the middle here to define the center. And then our first end we'll position here and second end just there. Press the middle mouse button. And now we can start dimensioning this up. So if I click on the dimension tool, we can override the stock dimensions. So if I click this end, and then press the middle mouse button, we can add this gives us a length dimension between those 2 points. I also want a dimension from here. So I'm going to click to the bottom of the arc there and press the middle mouse button. Okay. So this should be 4, and this should be 60. Okay, so we've now got our center line and we've got our curve defined. Now what I'm going to do is just join this up, join these two curves up. So I'm going to go to the line tool here, click there, then press the middle mouse button and the middle mouse button again, and you can see now I've got this shaded pink area. So this shaded area will now be revolved around the center line to form our profile. So if I click OK, you can see, okay, it's revolved it automatically, and it's automatically knows that we want to remove the material. Just check the angle, 360, and we're looking good. So we're going to click OK. Remember to save. And now what we're going to do is round the edges of the strut. So we're going to use the round tool. Again, click round. Make sure this is 0.5, and then click on the ends of this strut here. So we're going to click there, press Control, and then click here. Press the middle mouse button. And we'll save. And we're going to chamfer the far ends of the strut. So we're going to click chamfer, click this end, click this end. And again, this should be 0.5, so that's okay. And we'll click OK here. And then we will click Save. They're the basic steps that you need to go through in order to complete the strut from the Creo Primer.